Ah, yes. We're here. We're here on multidimensional levels. The parallel worlds are opening up here before our very eyes. And Victoria, I'm sure, has some more to reveal and speak about on this subject with her radiant blue colors and blue eyes shining here today for all of us. Please welcome our dear sister, Victoria Liljenquist.
Thank you. You can leave that there, because I'll go back and forth. So, oh my goodness, just to look into your eyes, feel your spirit, remember who we have been forever and always on our journey of remembering. What a glorious, glorious opportunity to have our family reunion, our galactic family reunion, right here and now with our beloved Robert Potter. I think he's giving a massage right now, but so just make sure that we've got people coming in here for a minute. Let them come sit down. Come get yourself settled, Brother Raymond, Blessed Raymond Keller. Every one of us are part of the great orchestra of the universe. Each of us play our instrument the best we can. We've been on a long, long journey, and I know that we're ready for graduation. Everybody ready for graduation? The beautiful thing for my journey has been that I have known my mission since I was 5 years old, and that really gave me strength to be steady and navigate. How many of you felt like you didn't belong here in the beginning? Maybe you were dropped off. Well, we came from the future, and we agreed to be here in this dispensation of time to find one another and to assist humanity with the highs and the lows and the tears and the joys and the loss and the rebirth that we all have experienced, especially over the last few years. We title my presentation Parallel Reality because I have been living between the worlds for a long time. How many of you feel like you're kind of living in two places? And you know, sometimes we don't know that it's that makes us feel a little bit discombobulated. But when you have the understanding of who we are, who each of you are in your essence, and you go, oh, I remember Victoria talking about that. That makes sense. How many of you have experienced knowing you're teleporting back and forth between the worlds? Now, sometimes you don't know how to recognize it, so I'm going to help you understand that. In the afternoon, about around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 to 3, they're always teleporting me. But I'll be looking at my phone, and all of a sudden, I'm gone. I am gone, and I'm gone for like 3 hours or 2 hours, and it's not like a sleepiness. It's like they take us out. They're beaming us back and forth. And I've understood this since 1994. when I would I would lay something down on the coffee table, and then I'd go about my business and come back, and it's not there. And I would run around the house in a frenzy of confusion, pulling all the drawers open. It looked like the gremlins were there. And I'd say, where in the world did I put that? Well, they transmit to me pretty much 24/7 now. And they explained to me that I had left the dimension. And then I came back a half hour later. There it was, laying right where I left it. How many of you have experienced that? And it's wonderful when we understand. I'm not losing it. I'm not going crazy. How about missing time? How many people feel like they're missing time? You know, they say that Google works really good. I've gotten lost constantly on this 1,200-mile journey to Mount Shasta. Doesn't matter. I think my Google is dyslexic, like I am. And that's another thing. A lot of us are kind of dyslexic because we are not totally part of this human experience. We've done our best. It's not been easy. And when we came in enlightened, so this is the thing, once we gain more understanding, it makes the journey much easier for us. I'm going to reel the clock back in time and space, back to 1947, when my father was coming through the Reno Desert upon Pyramid Lake. He was notorious for picking up hitchhikers. And he came upon this man standing in the dark at 2 a.m. on February 12th and picked him up, put him in the car, and he said, "Oh, you're dressed kind of interestingly." Well, it was Ezekiel, Prophet Ezekiel. So he proceeded to explain to my father. They do this, the little frog thing comes in. And he explained to my father, he said, I'm here to teach you about the universe, all about the universe and all about your life and all about your daughter. And my dad said, well, I'm not married and I can't have children. He said, you will. You will. And he touched my father and blessed him and got out of the car and dematerialized right before his eyes. And this story was told over the years through all the family, all the cousins. They'd say, yeah, our dad tells your dad's story all the time. And so when my father was passing, he called me to him and he said, honey, do you remember the story? And I said, yes, I do. I've heard it 1,000 times. You make sure I'm sitting right there. And he said, well, I need to tell you that he told me about you. And I said, well, Dad, do you remember when I was 5 and I came into you and said I'd had a visitation from a man that told me about my mission? And he says, yes. I was 5 years old, sitting with my crystals, pondering the universe and saying, how are humans so oblivious to the other life forms? And at that moment in time, I had my visitation from the same man, Ezekiel. And he said unto me, the time will come you will walk among humanity to teach love, teach forgiveness, and you are here to initiate on behalf of humanity the great divine plan. Well, I went into my dad and I says, Dad, what does the word initiate mean? And he says, oh, okay. He came to you, didn't he? So through the years, I've been blessed. Is this too echoey? Is it okay? I mean, okay. I'm kind of an echo girl anyway, but no, it's the tuna fish I had at lunch. Tuna lives in water, so but anyway, so over the years, I was having visions and visitations and, telepathic with my parents. And how many of you felt like you've been telepathic since childhood? A lot of us, really, we've had gifts, and perhaps our parents have not known how to guide us or help us on this journey because we're, that generation, they didn't know. They didn't know how to help us be the amazing divine beings that each and every one of us are. So, over the years, when I was 13, I had a vision of the Olympics, and I saw Salt Lake City. And I knew that eventually the cigar-shaped craft would fly over Salt Lake City. Well, that was when I was 13. 35 years later, it happened. And I leaked to one person that I saw this occurring. And it did. And I did over 60 radio interviews and television interviews with all these European stations and about this flyover, which happened to the day, to the time, as I sat on the hills of Salt Lake City and I filmed the cigar-shaped craft flying over. So I knew I could trust this bizarre part of myself that had visions and knew that things were coming. And then years later, in 1997, I had the vision of the second Earth. Now, I had not heard of anybody talk about the second Earth. I learned later that the Native Americans were speaking of the second Earth. And I was coming from Arizona up through Lake Powell, and that evening I filmed myself dematerializing on film with my expensive cameras. And I was on the ship seeing the two Earths and the implosion from one Earth or one dimension to another, if you will. And the next morning I spoke into the camera and I says, well, I saw two Earths, and I didn't know about the second Earth prophecy at that time. And the following night, I was in Salt Lake City, seeing family. I'm not your typical Utah person. They didn't know what to do with me there. So anyway, that night, I said, I would really appreciate another vision to have more clarity of what I saw last night. And lo and behold, it was given unto me. Hallelujah. And that night, I was standing on a balcony with all these people, and before us filled up the sky, this entire planet. Huge, huge planet moving into our atmosphere. You could not see the sky, only the planet. And they said, who are you and what do you want? And I said, oh, this is so beautiful. Please don't be afraid. And then I heard a beautiful voice say, Victoria, this is your new home. It merged with us briefly, collecting and blending with those of us that were ready to move on. And then it pulled away, and it moved on and on and on. And I saw our Father's house of many mansions. So I held on to that vision for many years. Well, fortunately, that was Easter, and this Easter on October 9th, which my dear brother Oscar, it's his birthday too on Easter, but I awakened that morning. Yeshua's picture was, his frame had been laid on my chest, and he's come to me many, many times, so this wasn't a startling experience, and then I went to my phone and I saw that, lo and behold, my vision of 1997 appeared on film in Augusta, Georgia, at the Masters tournament, revealing this other earth, hovering right there at the Masters tournament. News crew, millions of people saw it. And I'm going, oh, thank you. So I knew Easter then, 26 years ahead, and here it comes. Right now, here we stand. We're straddling the worlds. We're in the void between the worlds. And that's why sometimes it's challenging to navigate with our daily tasks and responsibilities. But we're doing it. But very soon, I say unto you, it is time. It is time. And when I died in 81, I went all the way in surgery, and Yeshua was showing a bunch of us standing in a circle, viewing like a PowerPoint, but this was in 81, of Earth and all of the earth changes that would befall. And then he turned to me and he says, you must go back. And he pointed down and he said, San Juan. I go, oh, San Juan, Puerto Rico, San Juan Islands. Well, years later, in 2007, I was guided and directed to move to the San Juan Mountains of Pagosa Springs, Colorado, not knowing the San Juans were there, but that's where he wanted me to be for the ministry, to build. And I've had a healing practice for 36 years, and I've had these little hands on over 30,000 people physically, and Yeshua helps me with that. And so I built my next practice there. I've owned 3 clinics. And so there was that experience. Then in 2014, I had kind of a bad dream because I feel like Mrs. James Bond. I've been in cars with stuck gas pedals. I've hydroplaned across 3 lanes of traffic in Florida to no guardrail and a total drop-off. And I've lived through it all. And so knew it wasn't my time. And so this one night on April 27th, 2014, I was standing in front of the window in the middle of the night, and I saw the Garden of Gethsemane in black and white, but I did not see Yeshua anywhere. And then suddenly I looked down. There was a hand here and a hand here, and he was holding me from behind, and I turned, and his face was right there. And I said, oh, have you come to take me this time? Is it my time? And he says, it's not your time, it's humanity's time. Well, so that's 2014. Okay, so here we are, a few days before Easter of this year. I'm on the telephone with Nebraska, of two ladies that had sent me an image of the new earth. They knew about my vision, and they said, Victoria, you got to see this. So I said, oh, by the way, what time is it in Nebraska? There was this boom and crash and static on their end and on my end. And then we all heard, 3 witnesses heard it, his voice. It is time. It is time. So there's all these confirmations. And I know in our heart and soul, I mean, we've been ready, and they say, oh, Victoria, you're such a broken record. You've been talking about this forever. But honest to goodness, I know that our time is in a moment-to-moment place. And many of us have said goodbye to loved ones, but we will be with them very soon. I've been going back and forth to the parallel world. My brother, who passed on Easter, Good Friday, came to me 6 months to the day. But in that world, I was there at his dwelling that I'd been visiting for years. See, we have these dreamscapes, and we don't realize we're really in the parallel world. We think, oh, that was kind of a wild, cool dream. But I've been going there not realizing that was the parallel world. Well, on the anniversary 6-month date to his passing, I took 2 friends that lived in Arizona in my dreamscape. I don't know, they didn't remember because they were with me. But I said, this is my brother's house, this is the bedrooms, here's the pools, here's the fountains. And we went around the corner, and my brother rose up from the swimming pool, and he was radiant. He was in a resurrected state. He looked younger. He passed in his 70s, and he looked much younger. And we embraced and wept, but I've been having these experiences with different people that have passed for the last few years. Now, I ask you, how many of you have been experiencing beloved friends and family through the veil? And you know, the thing that's so heartwarming is that, you know, the veil is very thin, and they're very aware of us. And soon we'll be more aware of them. I even walk my dog in that dimension. And one night, St. Peter walked up to me when I was walking my dog, and he said, Victoria, and he put his hand on my face, and he said, please tell humanity, you do not have to die to come to the gates of heaven. So all of these beautiful confirmations have given me strength not to waver from my vision. And, you know, so many people say, yeah, I remember you saying that, and now it kind of makes sense. And I'm going, oh, thank you. And, but the beautiful thing is in 1994, I started capturing other dimensions on film. And what appeared coming out of my head in sacred sites was my own Merkabah diamond-shaped vehicle. Now, how many of you are familiar with Dr. J.J. Hurtak? Okay, well, I didn't know about his book at that time, but then my friend shared his book, and in one of his diagrams, he has the opening of Kolob to our Father's house of many mansions, and it's the Merkabahs going on and on and on. Well, I sought him out. He wept when he saw all of my photographs and met me. He says, Victoria, you are Gloria Victoria here to sing the celestial sounds of the universe. He wept. He also knows Ezekiel well. So we had these wonderful connections. So that appeared, and then I started getting more and more ships on film. So I'm going to share some exciting, beautiful footage with you tonight, or today. I shared a lot of this last night, and I thank you for those that joined me last night. But there's just so much to share, and I'll be sharing more at the workshop. But one thing that's been revealed to me is when the chariot of Ezekiel and the whole chariot of fire with his wheels and the whole structure appeared to me on film flying outside Sedona in 2000. And so in 10 minutes of footage of that video, I slow it down, and you're going to have a chance to see what I'm talking about right now, because as I slow it down, all the pictographs from the ship appear. You actually see people in ceremony moving around inside the ship. They're dressed in white. Well, you know what? It's us. We're there and we're here. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And when I realized that that was one of the keys of us remembering who we really are, how magnificent we are, this film footage was just so amazing, and it's very healing. And I put it on DVD, and then it's now on YouTube. But I brought a few of these for the old timers that still have DVD players. But I didn't bring very many. But it actually won in Hollywood and New York. And we had standing ovations because people wept, because it helped activate their cell memory to remember who we are. And so I'm going to show you just some little bits and pieces of that. I'm also going to show you a lot. I have 139 videos on YouTube, so I've taken some little special clips to share with you today. And you're going to hear some of my music. The thing that's beautiful is that the ships, they love my singing. They blessed me with the voice since I was a child. My parents were musical too. But they always come when I sing. So they're residing over this building right now. And we really aren't here on Alder Street right now. We are with each other, and we're with them. Ooh, universe, ooh, universe, we set our spirits free and promise now to share our lives in peace and harmony. Okay, so I think I don't know, I guess it's okay if I can start this thing. What do I hit? Space bar. I'm a space cadet. I'm a space cadet. I wrote the book on it. So I'm just going to go into a little bit of this with you now. Hopefully the volume is going to feel good.
Victoria Liljenquist. Welcome to my world of magical experiences with angels, UFOs, and divine messages. There's enough room for all of us in there. Much material that's transpired on still photography and film that has been beneficial to helping people have a confirmation of maybe something they've seen as a child that they might have thought was their imagination, and when they see it on film, they get very excited. I had seen this large UFO saucer right over the top of my house, so I quickly grabbed my camera and filmed it. Interestingly, I did not see what you see now with my physical eye, but only discovered it when I slowed
It was actually gold.
extraction down on my machine, and lo and behold, you see real definition of this UFO.
Victoria's great at being able to do this. She has a lot of film footage, and I think she is a galactic ambassador to, and part of her mission or her piece is to show this to the world, to bring it to the world, to show that these things do happen and to bring through the proof. That is what she does, and she's very good at it. Victoria has an incredible voice, and it's her voice tone or the resonance in her voice that is able to call in these ships. It's like they can hear it through the dimensions or through the ethers, and that's what brings the ships about.
It is time for humanity to wake up, to embrace not only peace on earth, but peace in the universe, to learn and to know and to love their brothers and sisters of other worlds. Amazing pictographic images appear, transmitting from the UFO, penetrating our third eyes and helping us remember the story of this life cycle.
This is where the people are moving around.
This is weird.
Round top hats and wearing white.
Can you walk between the worlds? Can you see the other side? Can you hear the sound of heaven? Feel the joy to take the ride?
This is the chariot of Ezekiel.
They said it wasn't easy to love.
This is us, brothers and sisters, in ceremony.
They gave to us the freedom to discover our own way, reaching through the universe, the
Teleportation beam in my backyard. Should I hit it again? Or is it just going to go? Okay. This is the mothership that I've been able to capture on film. Most people
Can you walk between
cannot see
the
it, but I filmed it
Can you see the other side?
as it's cloaked. But the ships told me how to film it.
Can you hear the sound of heaven?
Double-decker.
Feel the joy to take the ride?
Chariot of Ezekiel. See the wheels? See the chariot.
They said it wasn't easy
Sacred pictographs from the chariot.
to love
The messenger.
the
The dove of peace.
They gave to us the
The flower of life.
to
the dove, the Buddha sign, the Merkabah in Sedona, Arizona in 1994, mesquite in 1994, Peru, unstudied, not lens flare. This is Peru, shaman took it. He said, Victoria, you celestial, you go to live on another planet. I'm taking y'all with me. Machu Picchu. I'm not leaving here without you. I promise. Unless you really want to stay. This is Lake Powell when the ship was hovering over me. This is the group encounter over Scottsdale, showing the two Earths. Interesting, on the 9th in 2005, and it showed up on the 9th in this year. Another two Earth, the merging, the overlapping. They've been teaching me so I can teach you. This is in my backyard, and I didn't see it, but my dog did, and you can see his mouth and his eyes, and he's holding the cross. Italy, Lake Powell, Chariot of Ezekiel on Christmas Eve. Holograms, see the two little children, the little child, and the baby in the sack. The evolution of humanity in the universe. In Peru, Pillar of Light, which showed up last night at our Skywatch. Thanks to Sarita. People come and do retreats with me and spend time with me. Spinning through eternity, the lessons we have learned. My little dog was very responsible. He helped me capture things on film. God bless his soul. Now I walk him in the parallel world. Hollywood didn't know what hit him after I was there. That was in 2005. I was ahead of the game, taught here, everybody's fan. And now it kind of gets you going, doesn't it? So all of my songs, they have downloaded to me. This last one, my friend that's with Moody Blues orchestrated that for me, so thank you, Alan Hewitt. He's been with them for 10 years or so. There's the Christ within each of us, and I believe that that's what this meant. I'm not saying it was Jesus himself, but we're here. Christ is an assignment to be in our Christ light, our Christ service. Hello, come on in. So now you're going to see how the chariot of Ezekiel, the wheel has detached from the ship, and you'll see it, and it comes to me every night for 18 months.
Okay. Now,
This was up at James Gilliland's ranch where I spoke, and
orders on for just a minute here.
so they told me I was filming this image. I did not see this image. I do see it now because they've changed my eyes, but so in a millisecond, pause to pause to pause, I was able to capture the actual double-decker ship. And they're thousands of miles long, fortunately now. I see it with my physical eyes. Last night, there was a lot going on, but, you know, not all of our eyes are conditioned. I know Amya saw a large mothership hovering over our group. So we're going to have another sky watch on Friday night, and I'm hoping that, I think it's going to clear out for us to do it. Even though there might be a little rain tomorrow, we'll be okay. And then we'll do one on Saturday night as well. But keep in mind your vibration, where you are in your frequency, in your telecommunication, is going to, and this is cool because it'll go into its live thing. I mean, I go out every night and I see these guys lined up with my eyes. So we're in charge of our picture of reality.
I mean, when we were out there the other night, they're everywhere.
And just remember,
So,
you're in control.
you might not always see them.
What you want to experience, just put that intention out.
It almost looks, when I look at
And
it, I can almost see people walking on
when you go to bed at night,
the escalator things.
just say a little prayer, little command to your subconscious mind, and say, I am a hypnotherapist too. I've been doing that for a long time, but we have to give permission to our subconscious mind to remember, to recall, because we've come in with these walls.
So profound.
This is just about over here. Okay, this is the night that St. Peter came to me on the ship with the windows. And this is outside my house in Colorado. And this is now the wheel of Ezekiel that comes to me, and that's on my business card. And feel free to pick one up. But you can see the wheels here. So he really, I love this because we just went deeper and deeper, and you can see like the universe and the prana energy, and there's healing activation in the movie that you watch on YouTube. Oh, that's kind of blurry, but that's the transporter that flies over me at home, and this is too. We actually had a transporter. We thought it looked like a plane, but I'm telling you, it was a transporter. They mimic themselves so that they're subtly hanging out. That's the teleportation from the transporter in front of my house in Sedona, Arizona. Well, my apartment. I'm living in a small, modest little thing. So this is New Mexico, or Sea of Cortez in Mexico. You can see the wheel. You can see the kind of the bolt and the, all of the, they blow it up. Anyway, this is during the Olympics. And that was the ship. They were clustered together, they flew together, and then they separate. And then the gatherings that I put on, we bring in all the spirit orbs. And I know a lot of you probably know this, but orbs, the small ones like at the party, every little being, every little animal that has ever lived travels in those orbs. That's what we look like when we've left our body. Or if we're in the hospital in a coma And doctors are seeing orbs flying around in the hall, and they're going, I saw you in your body until you came to. I've had people tell me that story. I think it's pretty amazing. So I'm going to just flip this. Now, I'm going to take you into,
Good morning.
this was, it was 7 below in Colorado.
It's March 17th.
This is right outside eye level of my house in
2019.
Colorado.
And
And
it's 6 a.m.
this is on the business card, and
ship
when you have
is
the business
right
card, it's
outside,
like it comes alive. I
right
mean, it
above
really, that's
the roof
literally from this
of
footage.
the condos.
And when they come, and I film, they transmit all of the information to me. I mean, it's like I'm in the zone, and I'm just taking, I'm just listening to them speak and teach. Now, this is the Christmas Eve footage. Once again, it's just so you get a little more. So, my friend and I just gone to Christmas service, and we started
gosh.
filming this.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's turning into a. Oh my gosh. I've never seen anything like this.
No, I haven't.
It's like it's doing it's a spinning top. And I'm seeing like almost snowflake like almost spokes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Can you see that with
yes,
your physical
I can see
eyes?
it with my physical eye.
Oh my word. This is amazing tonight.
And this is all live footage from my video.
I've never seen
so
it do that.
I
spoke
say a
thing
little
before.
prayer
That
to
is
it and
really-
everything.
Come on, do it again, you guys. Speak to us and tell us. Thank you. Thank you. Are we in for a good year?
It actually
Is
wasn't a very good
2001
year.
gonna be
2001 was
outrageously
kind of
wonderful?
scary with
If it
9/11.
is, do the spoke now.
But they do start to reveal to me in slow motion the Twin Towers.
you,
They were
thank you,
basically
thank
saying
you,
you're going to
thank
have
you,
peace,
thank you.
but you have some of this hard stuff coming up here soon.
I have never in my life seen one like this. Amazing. Amazing. It's like a sparkler. Allow yourself to just receive the encodement that is being transmitted through this footage to you now. As our bodies go through a physical transformation, becoming more light, I believe that these images are
We're being changed.
transmitting the preparation for that.
We're becoming transparent.
Father, who art in heaven, tell us now what is to come. Is this the beginning of the magic? Is this the beginning of peace? See the white dove.
I see the white dove of peace. 1,000 years of peace.
A new world of peace, of joy and love, to walk with you and God above, to be as one in unity.
For eternity, Now you will see. Everywhere you see a dot, those are the tops of the heads. They're dressed in white, but it's us in different uniforms in ceremony. One of these days, we shall close our eyes and sleep deep, and when we awaken, we will be through the eye of the needle. We will be the twinkling of an eye. It is on the tip of our tongue and the blink of an eye. And I can't wait, and I know you feel the same. We celebrate the lessons that we have learned. We forgive ourselves for co-creating the things that have been painful. But we remember that we are divine beings, and we are here to initiate this great and divine plan that I have known about since I was 5 years old. Thank goodness. Thank goodness I was given the vision. My parents have been on the other side for 50 years. And they did a good job of letting me be myself. Not everybody's been so fortunate. Some of us have had kind of a harsh childhood. Some of us, our parents just sort of let us do our thing. But fortunately, Ezekiel prepared my father for a little kid that was too big for her britches. And I was, you know, I have my strong side. You saw that last night. But, you know, we just continue to be compassionate and loving, forgiving, in vision of what we want to create, and we live the reality that we want to embrace.
Wish to create for your reality as we are straddling the worlds right now. It is up to each of us to claim the reality that we want to embrace.
This wasn't trick photography either. It happened every day. We decided to film it. I told the birds I was going to film them the next morning, so they were on the roof waiting for me. You're going to be famous. You're going to be in the film. This is what I love, is they start circling me, like just taking care of me in my little portal. Oh, so much to look forward to, brothers and sisters, and I'm so happy we're together here, enjoying this journey. Finding each other again. Embracing the fullness of our eternal self. Remembering and our Blessed Mother Mary. So this is a little excerpt from the movie, what you just saw. And my beloved brother, Oscar, put this together. And this is the last piece, and then I'm going to take questions and answers and do a little healing with you for a minute, if you're not too tired. And the ships give me all the words to this. That's the New Jerusalem that resides behind Venus. That's what you were seeing last night. That you for me, and I am for you, and we're together forever in a memory. Now that I know what I'm looking forward to, a new world of peace, of joy and love, to walk with you and God above, to be as one in unity for eternity. I see eternity for you and me. Welcome to my world. Are you going to? I'm not afraid to go with you this time. Been going a lot lately. To another world I see. I want to come and join the Jubilee. Where take me to learn what it's all about. To that fantasy of reality, of where I sing and shout. Take me in the night into your speeding light of time. How can I be ready to see what universal things you have to show me now? To learn of all the fullness to be found, filled with love and light and peace and joy. Take me in the night into your speeding light of time. As that blue light comes right down, lifting us to the sound of light. Just reach for your heart with your heart and be prepared for a brand new start. A world of peace and harmony for you and me. It's life in the light of infinity. with the freedom full of destiny to other worlds and back again. Our souls can always be through eternity into the light and peace and harmony into That's the end of that part. Thank you. Seeing is believing. It really makes a difference when you don't just hear the message, but you really see and feel it. And they've always wanted the music intertwined. So now, what I want to know, is there anyone here that needs a lot of healing, that really has something going on? Okay, do you want to come up to the front? I've been in the healing arts for many years, and after dying, you know, and Yeshua putting his hands on me over and over again, he has infused a lot of his light into my hands. And I think I'd like to some healing and support. Thank you. Come closer a little bit. Can you feel that energy? I can. It's pretty magical, isn't it? Yes. And it's flowing 24/7. I've helped people with brain tumors, and you have the stenosis. So we call forth upon the powers of the universe and the Holy Spirit and the angels and guides, and we lift you, blessed sister, into heaven's light and call forth the pillar of light to come down into you, to bless you and fill you with comfort, with regeneration, rejuvenation, and efficient functioning, for restoration and wholeness, that every time you see water, you hear water, you taste water, you shall experience healing within and without. For the sign of the water is the sign of the Spirit, and the Spirit of the universe dwells within you. I'm going to place a sacred tone on your heart chakra. Is that okay? Yes. Say unto you, Fasar, 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 dissolve, 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 mend and blend, restore, regenerate, be in peace, lift the pain from this beautiful sister's physical earth suit, prepare for her for the great and glorious transformation that's coming soon. Be in peace, Know that you were dearly, dearly loved. Every time you see water, you hear water. You shall experience healing within and without. Where the sign of the water is the sign of the Spirit. And the Spirit of the universe dwells within us. Thank you. Doing okay? Everyone gets a hug that wants one on this trip. Everyone gets a tone during the next few days. Come up to me, ask me, tell me what you need. My love, my service, His light is free to receive, to feel, to regenerate, to heal, and to elevate, recalibrate, celebrate, and transform in our mutational process. So, does anybody have any questions? We have, let's see, I don't know what time it is. Just, pardon? How much? 20 minutes? I thought Yeshua was going to say, well, it is time. Every time I say, what time is it? So I have 20 minutes. So you have a question?
I was just coming up to facilitate the questions.
Oh, okay. That's great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm just thrilled by this gift. The term that came was, how many people here know what a terma is? A terma is a Tibetan term of a treasure, a spiritual treasure. See, we're on a quest to find things here on earth. We want homes and relationships, but the spiritual treasures are the most priceless. And I feel like our sister here is that living embodiment. And Rob has brought together quite an array of spiritual treasures for us to be blessed with this weekend.
Yes.
So yes, thank you.
Thank you
Yes,
so
so
much.
anyone with a question, please come forward.
I'll try to answer it. I'm not a very mental person. I'm really out of my body and on the ship all the time, but I come from the heart, so fire away.
Well, this will be easy for you. Can you describe or tell how you were called to become a commander of a Andromedan spacecraft, please? The circumstances surrounding that.
So, well, you know you already are, right? That's why I recognized you when you walked up the walk and I hugged you. You didn't know? Yes. Well, the thing is, we have many roles on the ship, and I've known since '94 that I was a commander, but I didn't start using the title until the last couple of years because I was waiting for instruction that it was okay. But when you go to sleep at night and you know you've been busy, maybe you don't remember everything you're doing, but during this weekend, I'm happy to share with you what I get about what your lineage is, what your position is. Now, many of us, this is the exciting thing. You saw the New Jerusalem on film, that was from NASA, but a lot of us have been going back and forth to the New Jerusalem at night. We've been rescuing people out of the rubble, and from Turkey, from Ukraine. And you see, I was flying over Iceland and Russia 1 year before the Ukraine-Russian hoopla started, the terrible stuff. But we were on the ship and we were making our strategic plans because I have many benevolent fleets reporting to me. Now, I'm an Andromedan commander, and I also go back and forth to the Nordic ship. But then when we have our conclave and our Council of Light, then we've got, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Venetians, the Orions, the Andromedans, and I mean, there's a lot of positive races out there. And back in, it was 2019, they took me onto the Nordic ship, and I sat with this Nordic, and he sat there and stroked my hand, and he says, Victoria, please don't be sad. We're not letting humanity down. We're on standby, and we are ready to intervene if that comes, because I'm sure many of you are familiar that there's a chance of teleportation, evacuation, but then Jesus and Mary explained to me in a vision that we're going to go into a deep sleep. Every single person, do not judge. I mean, everybody will do it. So, being a commander, I think you know in your heart. Let's see, your first name is Mark? See, I'm good, huh? That was just a wild guess there, but so we know that we have our assignment, and some are fleet, some are pilots, some are medics. The healers are on the New Jerusalem assisting. And what's going to happen is once we go, I'm sorry, this is expanding, but they're talking, they want to say this. Once we go into our deep sleep, and I'm not saying it's going to be very long, and those of us that have been awake for a long time will probably move through this rather quickly. But we will be there to assist. There is a kind of an orientation time where we'll be taken to the New Jerusalem. We'll help the people. This is line A, line B, line C. Okay, you've got this, you need healing here. And then, of course, we have, a lot of people that have been going through things in this dimension that'll be in healing, need healing. Humanity, when they wake up from this deep sleep, they're going to go, now, what did I miss? Why do I not know where I am? It's all going to be very foreign to them. And that's where those of us that are here, we're here to help and love and support and encourage and console and comfort, because we're moving into our new reality. Now, that is a preliminary place, at which time the people that are ready to move on to the new earth, the Gaia, our blessed Gaia, where, by the way, all of the animals that have disappeared, with different, the dolphins or the koala bears, or you see all the lobster that ended up on the beach, and you're just going, oh. But the thing is, we're not, because they explained to me that all of the wildlife and the animals have already been transported to the new earth, and they're waiting for us. It's everything that we love about this earth and more, without all of the crazy, filmy, illusional stuff, okay? So your picture of reality, if you hold that picture of reality of what you want to create, you want to see, you want to manifest, your gifts and talents, your projects. Oh, Victoria, I'm just getting ahead on this project, and you're telling me I'm leaving, and I go, don't worry, that project's going to wait for you, and you're going to be moving on with this music career or these planets or, whatever you're, building or gardens, foods, people, healing. And for a lot of us, it's just about having a life, because I haven't had much of a normal human life here. I mean, I raised some stepkids and there's grandkids, but I haven't been coupled up for 40 years. But my beloved is on the ship, and I have twin sons, Jacob and Joshua, and they're waiting to help me feel a little more of a life, because I've been married to my mission, which I'm ever grateful, and I'm honored and blessed. So these are things that might jar some clues in your mind. So that was a long answer about being a commander, but you already are. I mean, I totally recognize you, but of course, when I see people, I say, you're wearing something different on the ship. Your outfit, they don't wear plaids. Is that a Pendleton? Okay. Okay. No, they don't do Pendletons there, but anyway. So, that reminds me, see, Princess Diana and I are related. And the day that they said that she passed, she's probably still with us here, but anyway, that morning I was shown opening up the curtains and looking out, and we had made the shift. We were on the new reality. Thank you, hallelujah. And so that was the morning that she had her accident. And our family did genealogy, and I have, Welsh and Swedish. I'm primarily Swedish. You said my name really good, thank you. Liljenquist. So, now, another question? 10 minutes. Oh, that's not a question. Anything? No?
He's coming.
Okay. And this healing gift to you is offered through this entire weekend. Curtis.
Thank you, Victoria, as usual. Your beautiful voice and
Thank you.
lovely energy comes through strong. So one of the questions I have that in all these years since I really came online about 7 years ago when I had my awakening after almost dying of cancer, I asked to be physically visited. And
You live in Colorado, right?
and I live in Colorado, just over the pass from you.
Well, we've been connected.
And so I'm not saying there's anything better about me, but I can literally go out at night and call a ship in within a few minutes. And I think they're out there all the time. They just light up, throw the switch and light up. But have you ever had a physical visitation? And part of the problem I have is the last time it happened, I was asking for it. And then weeks went by and I forgot, and I went outside to walk the dog to, do his thing, and they just swung in, and I saw this thing come in cloaked. And what really clued me off was, there was a black op military chopper chasing it, and it
Oh, sure.
literally came over the ridge of my house where I saw this thing go down and land. And it, it's, those things are loud because they don't have to have mufflers or whatever. And it's spotlighting me and my property, and me and my dog just looking up like, oh my God, are we in trouble or what? And every regression therapy, and I've trained in this myself, and I've trained to be a shaman, but they just will not tell me what happened. I mean, they say they did some healing and they gave me some codes, but they won't, they just will not tell me at this point why they came to visit, and what it was really all about. So I know I've never heard you say they've landed and physically came, and I know a lot of us go to the ships at night and things. So what is the reason why they won't let us remember these physical visitations?
It's not that they won't let us remember. But we have kind of this bubble, this shield that prevents us. Thank you, Curtis. It's so good to see you. When you said that I'm Curtis, I'm going, Colorado. I met him 10 years ago or something. So, but the thing is, so what we do, we have to do a little activation. We speak to our third eye. We do a little hypnosis on ourselves, and this is how I tell people how to do self-hypnosis. And you hold your finger out in front of you right now, like this, and then you bring it in closer and closer and closer. And as it comes in close, your eyes begin to get blurry. But keep your eyes open as long as you can. And when you can't keep your eyes open any longer, you feel like you're crossing your eyes, touch your nose, close your eyes down. We are speaking to the subconscious and the conscious and the divine mind of each and every soul in this room and all of those who are witnessing this on video. We now command and direct through love and honor and forgiveness that our subconscious cellular memory is activated and can bring forth to a conscious place of total recall, total understanding, that we need to remember what we're experiencing in our encounters, where we're here, whether we're asleep, or whether we're on the ship. And every time we think of water, we activate that healing without. For the sign of the water is the sign of the Spirit. And we now command the subconscious mind to bring forth all the knowledge to the conscious mind as we stand at the great glorious doorway of time and space and graduation and elevation and celebration. And so it is. Amen. Before I do another question, I need to share something with you, and that is, I have physically been on a craft while a scientist waited in the car for me for 8 hours in Florida. And we went to a location. I said, I need to go to a certain place. And so he says, well, I think that's Pretty Lake. We got there. Amazing. At nighttime, Tinkerbell lives because all of the cobalt blue lights were dancing in the tree and on my hand. I could feel it on my hand. It was everywhere. And I said, so do you want to come with me? And he says, no, I'll just wait here. And I walked into the field, and the fog came between us, and he saw the gold ship come over the field. I was gone for 8 hours. And in the morning, the sun was coming up, and I was walking back to his car, and the cigar-shaped craft had dropped me off, and it was really low. We were out in a field. We weren't at a tarmac airport, but it was so low. And it was as low as that one that flew over last night. And it disappeared behind one single pine tree. And I said to the scientist, I said, because I'd flown back there to have him study me, I said, weren't you worried? And he says, no, they said they'd bring you back. And I've had some other things too. And I do a lot of dematerialization. I do a lot of teleportation. And my friends that hang out with me, they can tell when I'm not in my body. Oh, Victoria, we don't want you to go on the road right now. Because it's hard. And so, but Curtis, I want you to know that I think we should spend some more time on the phone, and I'll help you remember more. And anybody else, I'm here to serve. I don't know how many private sessions I can do while I'm here because, to be honest, I'm a figment of your imagination right now because I'm really on the ship and I'm really kind of a ding-dong girl. And so I'm doing the best I can to stay in my body and be, but they're so happy and grateful, and thank you for your presence. God bless you. We can take one more.
Okay. We're going to have one more question here, and then we'll complete.
Hi. I live here in Mount Shasta for the last 7 years, and in my backyard, I seem to be able to call in ships at times and have had lots of experiences. But my question is, there are these lights that come very close, but they're so quick. They'll move, and they're all different forms. They're silver, they're white, they're orange.
They're
Sometimes
tubes,
purple.
and they're tubes.
Sometimes tubes, sometimes streaks, but they'll come very close. But it's very brief. Sometimes I'm the only one that can see this.
Yes.
Are those, I don't know what to call those, interdimensional light beings? Or
Well, yeah, they are. And they're like when you saw all the thousands of orbs at that party. I mean, that was a party I put on at a ranch for 40 people, and we had thousands of orbs. We didn't see them with our eyes, but my friend happened to take a photograph, and there it was. So they're communicating. They're sending their love to you. So, yeah, and in fact, Sarita last night, she got some amazing things I'm going to post on my Facebook of a lot of those energies and pillars. I mean, there was a great big pillar coming right down over our group. We had a mothership that was hanging over us, but people didn't see it. But they love you, and they love to be acknowledged. I mean, they really do.
Yeah, we send our hearts and our love
Yes.
first, and that's how.
Yes, and they love that. And, you know, when I was driving by a cemetery one time, I told my friend, well, you know, they hang out in the cemetery. Well, the orbs showed up in the car while we were driving by the cemetery. I go, well, they're really happy we're here. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. God bless you all, and enjoy this weekend. And, oh, hi. You're from Sedona. Hi, sweetheart. Okay. Okay.
So one thing is,
You're so handsome, and you're always
Oh.
in that suit.
I'm a reflection of you.
I know you are.
Step in this way? Okay.
I know you are.
So I just wanted to ask on behalf of the audience, I'm pretty sure that we all love your mission, and we're so very appreciative for you being here and coming here and this hard time for humanity. And the main thing is, what is your biggest hurdle for your mission, and how can we help you overcome that?
You know, I think I've done the hurdles. All I ask is that you become one with me in your vision of our new reality, our new earth, and know that it is so. I mean, I told Rob, I said, Rob, we might already be on the new earth by the time this conference happens, because I feel everything is just so close to lock and load, and you know, so I thank you, I love you, I support you, you support me, we love one another, and just be the light, because you know what, we teach by our presence, not by our words. Children listen to us through their eyes, not their ears. And I just want you to see, I am going to have a little booth. Nobody has CD players anymore, but my sweet friend, Kathy Green from Georgia, she said, now you bring some CDs, because I'm sure some people are going to want them, but
I only brought a few, I mean, not very many, but this is actually on YouTube, but it gets interrupted a little bit. Victoria Liljenquist on YouTube, you can find me. But this is Journey to Empowerment, and this is like having hypnotherapy with me, but I channeled all the music while I'm speaking, and I take you inside to heal and love and forgive, and then it goes into the music only, and it's harps and strings and ocean waves. Can't listen to it in the car. And then this is my Sacred Tone CD that I was contracted to create, because I have perfect pitch, and so these people sought me out. So anyway, I will see you at the workshop on 9 o'clock on Saturday morning over in one of those park buildings. I think it's the upper one. And then I'll have a booth, and then we have a Sky Watch tomorrow night. Meet here at 7:30, and Saturday night here at 7:30. And then take my business card and stay in touch with me, and know that you're all important to me. You're important to me, sweetheart. She's been trying to get a hold of me for a month, and it's been kind of crazy. So God bless you all.
Thank you. Victoria Liljenquist. Yes, everyone. Let's shower the room with the great blessed light of love that is just gratitude to the angels and the masters and our beloveds, weaving all of this into our new reality of freedom, of victory, of joy, of peace. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you.
All right, precious ones. I believe, do we have a 15-minute break? Yeah, not anymore. About a 5-minute break, and we're going to have Ajna coming on to talk about her 25 years of experiences with the Venusians. So have a little break and come back for the next event.